Morning guys, we get quite a lot of questions at the moment about burble activation and burble and popping and banging maps. So I thought I'd do a very quick video just to show you what we've done on this particular vehicle here. This is our modified vehicle. Let me just switch around for you so you can take a look and I'll tell you what we're going to do. So this is our Jaguar F Type. It's a V8, quite highly modified, running around 670 brake horsepower. It's got a burble activation map on it. Now what's quite unusual about the way that we do this is we write all the software in-house ourselves, so we can be very specific about when the burbles do and don't come in. So this vehicle's running a virtually straight through exhaust system. In fact, it is straight through when the valves are open, so it's going to be quite extreme, quite loud, and we particularly set the burbles on this particular map to come in at about 3,000 RPM. Now why that's interesting is when you're driving normally around town, the gearbox will change before that time and you won't really get into the burble. So you've almost got it like you can switch it on and off. If you move onto the paddles and you deliberately go into the higher RPM and then come off the throttle, you'll get quite severe burble activation. And we've got it pretty much set up as maximum burble activation on this vehicle. So very, very noticeable. But we can soften that. We can make them come in earlier. We can make them come in later, down to driver style. But just so you can get an idea of just what burble activation actually is and how it sounds, I'm going to stop now. We'll go on a little road test and we'll see what we do. So here we're just driving through a little small town area, and maybe I don't want to come over such a loud. So you'll see the gearbox is automatically changing before we get into the burble activation on this particular vehicle. So it's changing as they normally do, sort of 2,000, 2,400 RPM. The burble you're getting at the background of this exhaust right now is just because of the exhaust system. We're not in the burble activation area of the map. This has got a straight through exhaust system. In fact, actually, when I activate it now, that's going to open the valves up. So it's quite loud. You get quite a lot of burble from these anyway. I'll let you just hear that. Sounds absolutely fantastic, but this is just the normal tuning of this engine and the sports exhaust system that's fitted. It's also running 200 cell catalytic converters, which also increase exhaust tone. But as we come out of the town now, I'll move into the burble area of the map. Now to do that, I'm going to use the paddle shift to hold it into the higher RPM. So just give you a very quick demonstration of how this works. Let's just change gear. We're in third gear now. I'm going to accelerate up to 4,000 RPM, keeping within the speed limit. And if you weren't sure what burble activation sounds like, that's a straight through exhaust system running the burble map at 3,000 RPM. You'll hear significantly different than the before. That is pretty much the most extreme burble map we do. We can soften that for some customers. We can make it come in later. And you'll notice the burbles continue, although they don't come in till over 3,000 RPM. Once they're activated, they stay active till about 2,000 RPM. So one more time. We're still in third gear. Give her another little blip into the activation area. Not at all subtle, eh? So I've just switched the camera around. After all, you don't want to keep looking at my face. I'll show you some of the countryside, and I'll keep her in burble activation mode as we drive along. So I'm now in second gear, and you'll hear the activation is almost permanently running all the time. Now if I don't want to hear it, all I have to do is change gear a little bit earlier and you won't get the activation. So by using the paddles, you can quite literally turn the burbles on and off as and when you want. So I've just gone into full auto now. And you get much, much less burble activation because I'm not getting into the higher RPM range naturally. And if I want it back on, I just switch back into manual. extreme burbles again. So I hope you found that interesting. It gives you an insight of what can be done with the burbles. Now that is the most extreme version, and they don't have to be on like that all the time. As I say, depending on how we write the software, we can soften them, we can bring them in a little bit later. And of course this has got these 200 cell cats and virtually a straight through exhaust system. So you are getting, you know, loud full on burbles. Not to everyone's cup of tea, I appreciate, but it does show you what fun we can have with the software. Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks, bye bye.